I joined in July 2006, and I was in a hole. For many years, I had felt fatigued, depressed. I had pain all over my body. I didn't get that way overnight. I have Hashimoto thyroiditis, which is the autoimmune disease Dr. Hotze just talked about. My body destroys the thyroid gland. The only treatment for it, the only conventional treatment for it was Synthroid or synthetic thyroid. And I was for years, since I was a child. My blood tests were always normal, but I was not normal. I had all the symptoms of hypothyroidism. That led to other problems, female problems. In 1992, I lost my uterus. I lost my natural progesterone. That was never replaced. In 1997, I lost my natural estrogen. I lost my ovaries. I went by for a few years. You really don't realize, I think because you get progressively worse, it doesn't just hit you. You don't really realize that you're feeling so bad until it climaxes. And about 4 or 5 years after I joined, when I joined the clinic, 4 or 5 years back, that's when I really started feeling the symptoms of depression, fatigue. I had to increase my ring sizes because all my joints had swollen. I felt a constant malaise. I felt like I had a flu. I went from doctor to doctor. My primary care physician was prescribing his medications. The endocrinologist was doing his tests that all came normal and was giving me the same Synthroid that I took for like over 5 years. And then, I was referred to a rheumatologist who checked me for MS, checked me for all kinds of autoimmune disease. And since I had an autoimmune disease, they come in pairs generally. So they were looking for that second one. And they couldn't find anything. They couldn't even label me fibromyalgia. They just knew I was in pain and my joints were swollen and I was miserable. I had fatigue. I was referred to a psychiatrist because I was depressed. And the psychiatrist started trying different medications. I would do well for a while and then I wouldn't do well, so I had to switch. They kept increasing my doses of antidepressants to the point where my blood pressure just went up and I had palpitations, and this led my primary care physician to prescribe a beta blocker. And so by the time I came to the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, I was feeling miserable. I was taking 11 prescription medications, and I was looking for hope. I was not very optimistic because I had been through so many physicians and I was just feeling worse. So when I came to the clinic, I had a slight hope, but I was skeptical. And I remember writing a letter to Dr. Hotze on July 11th, 2006, that I never emailed you or sent you or anything. And in that letter, I was just writing it more to myself because I was feeling so well. I was starting to decrease the antidepressant. I had done away with a lot of my medications, including that famous Synthroid. And I was starting on the hormones. And by the time I wrote that letter, I was starting on the progesterone. And I couldn't believe how well I was feeling already. I wasn't anywhere near where I am today, but it was a tremendous improvement. And I thought, well, maybe it was a placebo effect, but it's been the longest placebo effect of my life. I don't look back. Since then, he's also helped my son, who's 27 years old and happens to have Hashimoto thyroiditis. And they seen how well I've done, and finally he gave in one day and said, Mom, I feel so miserable taking this Synthroid. I go and get my tests are normal, but I'm not. And I said, well, you can go to Dr. Hotze and, have your thyroid checked. And he's been taking natural thyroid for like a year and a half. He's lost 84 pounds. He has the energy that I would never saw this child with this much energy, just by taking the naturals and all the supplements and the vitamins, which are fabulous. My first visit at the clinic, this is one thing that I must point out, was amazing. I thought I was coming to a spa, not a clinic. It was a 5-hour visit or more, maybe. And when they told me it was going to be a 5-hour visit, I said, oh my God, get ready to wait. Those 5 hours, somebody was doing something to me. The visit with Dr. Sheridan, which is my physician at the clinic, I thought he didn't have any more patients that day. I mean, he just sat there and talked to me. He taught me the program. It's been amazing. By the time I left there, I knew what I had to do, and I knew I was going to do it. And, you know, it's just been great. I don't know what else to say. And I told him, you know, every time I can say it, I'll say it, because I know I'm going to be helping somebody. So if you guys feel the same way I felt, don't look back. Just make the right choice and get on a national program.